John here, and we've got a new sponsor, DistroKid. Now that you've finished your latest Pirate Math Sponge Core Twitch trek, it's time to get it out there so everyone can hear it. DistroKid helps musicians get their music on all the major streaming platforms, and artists keep 100% of their royalties. And because you're a High Gain listener, you get 30% off. Just go to distrokid.com/VIP/highgain. That's distrokid.com/VIP/highgain. And now DistroKid has an app. The DistroKid app is available for iOS and Android. You can download it at distrokid.com/app or in the app and Play stores. We'd like to take a minute to thank our pals over at Isotope, makers of software and plugins for audio repair, mixing, and mastering. The new gold standard of audio repair, Isotope RX11, is coming in May. Buy RX10 now on sale and get RX11 absolutely free when it's released. We use Isotope products here at the High Gain. It's an important part of how we've been able to bottle pure podcast gold week after week. High Gain listeners get 10% off using the promo code FRET10. That's FRET10. That's all at isotope.com. izotope.com.
Oh, hey, it's me, Ed Peterson.
Hi, Ed, it's me, John Kiltica.
John, were you about to play guitar right there?
Yeah, then I thought, oh, that's going to confuse Ed.
Yeah, Ed gets all screwedy-uppy when you do that, and I miss my cue.
So I decided not to.
Yeah, which almost threw me, but I think we recovered. I
Cool.
think we had a great intro
Nice.
of the High Gain Podcast.
High Gain Podcast,
Here in beautiful West Seattle.
where we talk about guitars
And amps.
and amps.
Chicago boys.
Chicago boys.
Yeah, talk about Chicago. We don't really deep dive on the city too much.
No,
They got a really cool natural history museum in Chicago.
they do.
I think they got a waterfront area, kinda.
Yeah, Lakeshore Drive there on Lake Michigan.
Beautiful.
Art Institute of Chicago.
Nice.
Very highly regarded, one of the
Oh.
best art schools in the country.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of movies that are set in Chicago, and I can't really think of any off the top of my head.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It's a good movie.
Yep.
He does that twist and shout in the parade. Yeah.
What do I got here, Ed?
I don't know. You told me like 2 minutes ago what that was, and I don't remember.
It is a Harmony Rebel.
Rebel. So this looks different, but isn't the Rebel one of the current Harmony lines? There's a reissue, right?
There is.
Okay. It's different.
It's a lot different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a semi-hollow?
No, the current Rebels are solid bodies, whereas this vintage example is a hollow body.
Okay. And the main difference between a semi-hollow body and a hollow body, you don't have to explain it to me because I clearly know because I've been doing this podcast for...
I was hoping you were going to get to that, Ed.
Oh. Thank you.
Welcome to episode 314.
Okay.
6 years. Happy anniversary, Ed.
Is that true?
It sure is. Our first episode dropped on May 11th, 2018.
6 years. How many episodes have we missed on a weekly basis in that 6 years?
I'd have to say 0.
Yeah, not a one. Crazy.
A single, unique guitar in hand once a week for 6 years.
And we haven't done a Rebel.
No.
Okay. We've done a lot of harmonies, a lot of Chicago boy stuff. Not a Rebel. Weird.
Yeah.
Were they all hollow?
All the Rebels were, yeah.
Okay.
And this is one of the last Chicago-made models Harmony would have produced before going under in about 1975.
Okay. Explain hollow body versus semi-hollow.
Sure. You see there's an F-hole on this, and you can see inside the guitar through it.
Yeah.
If the entirety of what's inside there is air,
Yeah.
that's a hollow body.
Right.
However, if there's a mass going down the middle, either a block that's been added or a neck through or something like that, it's a semi-hollow.
Yep. And so you maybe get more sustain in a semi-hollow.
Sure, and having a block down the middle helps control feedback a little more, too.
Yep. Beverages.
Beverages in.
Was that a Chase Bliss?
It was a Generation Lost Mark II
Yeah.
that I picked up from my good friend and high gain superfan, Ken.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Shout out Ken LaBar.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Still have yet to deep dive the manual to get into all the nitty gritty of it, but a guy like me,
Lo-fi.
glitchy stuff,
Yep.
love it.
Real good.
And the dirt is from our good friends over there at Recovery Effects. This is the Revere Overdrive.
Cool.
It's a lovely organic sounding overdrive. Shout out Recovery.
I got a Crow mug.
Crow mug.
And you see that?
What's that dangly thing?
That's a Lipton
Coffee bag?
green tea decaf.
What?
I know.
Hold on. Why are you filling the Crow mug with not coffee?
I know. Because the other day, a week ago, we recorded and I was pounding coffees the entire time.
Multiple hour session.
Yeah. And I did not sleep at all that night. And so I'm just going to chill out. We're past noon at this point. I'm just going to cut the caffeine out.
Well, what's in that can then? And is there a bird on it?
There is. It says Hoplark Sparkling Water, craft brewed.
Craft brewed water.
With mosaic hops. Pine flavored hop experience. It's not like a non-alcoholic beer, but it's not like a non-alcoholic beer. But it's a sparkling water.
Huh. Okay. How is it?
They're great. I've had a couple.
You've had it before.
Mm-hmm. And I'm into them.
I've got coffee also.
Okay. Not also.
Oh, yeah. Right. I have coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's black coffee in this George Washington University mug.
How's Lauren doing?
Graduation is next week.
Okay. Congrats.
And then onward and upward.
We should get her on the show. Does she know anything about guitars?
I don't think so.
That's perfect. What else you got there?
This is a Poppy probiotic soda.
Oh, how's your gut these days?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Oh.
It is a prebiotic.
Oh, prebiotic. Okay.
Yes. This one is ginger lime.
Yeah. Gut health?
Gut health is good.
Yeah?
Yeah. And they make a fine prebiotic soda.
Who is that?
Poppy.
Okay.
Maybe it's named after a person? Maybe it's named after Poppy. Hey, Poppy.
Yeah, it could be.
That overdrive's very nice. Everybody should check out the Revere by our friends over at Recovery.
Greg and Sarah.
Yes, Greg and Sarah.
Give me a rundown of this thing.
Do you want the briefest of harmony overviews?
Sure.
Do you remember our man Wilhelm Schultz?
Schultze.
No, Schultze was Fender. This is just regular Schultz.
This is Wilhelm.
Yeah.
I was talking to Carter Peterson.
Yes?
We were talking about movies, and there's a Fall Guy movie that's out.
Yes.
I'm like, oh yeah, Lee Majors is great.
Sure.
Blank stares.
Yeah, who's that?
$6 Million Man. Blank stares. Fall Guy, the TV show. No idea. So what is the demographic for a Fall Guy reboot? Is it Gen X and Boomers?
No, they're just rebooting the franchise based on a successful formula.
I'm just saying your built-in audience is not 18 to 25-year-olds because they didn't even know it was a show.
I don't know if it's built-in audience so much as a proven formula.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Wilhelm Schultz.
Oh, right. Wilhelm Scream was a film reference, which got me to the Fall Guy.
I am the trunk. Ed is the branches.
Yeah.
We're going to climb the tree, but first we have to go out to the edge of every single branch. And eventually,
follow it out.
We'll get to the top.
Yeah, that's great.
1892, he founds harmony.
Founds it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wilhelm died in 1917.
I feel like we've been pretty light on the dongs.
Dong light.
Yeah.
By the time he died, though, Harmony had already sold 250,000 instruments.
Sure.
They weren't primarily guitars yet.
Yep.
Ukuleles, your mandolins.
Maybe a banjo.
The odd banjo.
Sure.
By 1930, just 7 years later, 500,000 instruments.
So 93 to 23, 30 years, they sell 250,000. And then 7 years, hockey stick growth is what we call that in the guitar biz.
So we're familiar with a lot of the models that came out. We've actually done a few of them, like the Jupiter That was a solid body one.
Silhouette, old and new.
Yep. But by the 60s, by the late 60s, the competition is fierce from Japanese imports.
Yep.
The lower cost models are flooding the market. It's getting harder and harder for them to make a go of this. So they're starting to suck wind when they introduce this. Rock and roll is firing on all cylinders. The counterculture is in full swing. So they name it the Rebel. It had a model name. It was the H82. Here's what it's got. 2 pickups. Diamond mustache gold foils.
It's got the little double F hole mustache thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever called them that before. Maybe we've never done an actual mustache pickup. I'm not sure.
This thing sounds really good. It's got 2 on-off switches for the pickups.
Both.
There's your bridge, as trebly as it's going to get. There's your neck.
That sounds great. That sounds really, really good. Tell me about those slider things you've got going on over there. What's the deal with those?
They thought it would add something to the look, the flair of it. Easy visual stick shift controls.
Oh.
It's not really a stick shift.
No.
Later, they would switch to regular knobs.
A little scratchy.
Yeah, I think over time,
sure,
they're maybe harder to keep clean.
When I have volume tone knobs, they are on 1 or 10. Because like trying to actually find some middle ground spot and actually be consistent with it, it's like impossible because you can't really see the numbers when you're playing. I'm either all the way up or all the way down.
I kind of do the same thing.
On this, you actually can kind of play with it. And yeah, visually, it kind of makes sense. I also feel like some of the Japanese imports had a lot of knobs and switches and buttons and doohickeys on their guitar. From that period, that became kind of a thing, right?
I think so. And I think that started even earlier with the guitars that were being made in Italy by the accordion boys. How much bling can I put on this thing?
For sure. We haven't done an Italian banger in a while.
No, we haven't. The tremolo on this is called a W tremolo. By the shape of the spring used underneath this plate. It's a shallow tremolo. It doesn't go into the body at all. But it does seem to be pretty stable.
With this thing being a hollow body and the trem like that, you're putting a lot of stress on a very thin body. And so it is surprising that it's held up for 50 years.
Yeah, this is in very good shape.
Yeah.
If it didn't stay in tune, this one does, but if it didn't, I would probably just replace the tuners. That might help.
Yeah.
But this one's really stable.
Almost every time an episode starts with you needing to tune up the guitar, you haven't tuned this thing once.
I haven't.
Way to go, Harmony Boys.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing in 72.
They had an H81.
This is the 83.
Yes, the 81 had one pickup. The 82 had two. Those were both sunburst. And this 83 is the fancy avocado burst.
Oh, no kidding. So 83 is a designation specifically to pickups green.
Yes. I think in an effort to kind of make that easier later on, they would change the designation to 683G. I don't know what the 6 is for, but the G is apparently green.
What do you think of avocados?
I love avocados.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not every day do I have an avocado.
Do you like avocado toast?
Yes, I like avocado toast, but I'll have like a bowl of tofu or seitan or whatever, and I just take an avocado and cut it up into cubes.
That sounds pretty good.
Simple. I'm a simple man, John. You know that.
By the time Harmony calls it quits in 75,
Uh-huh.
how many instruments do you suppose they had manufactured? 1892, 1975.
So 1932, I think you said they were up to 750,000?
500,000.
Okay, so 500,000 by 30.
Yeah.
So 45 more years. I'm going to go crazy. 4.5 million.
Is that crazy?
I don't know.
10.
10 million guitars. That's a lot of guitars.
Yeah, not bad.
Call it 93?
1892?
92 to 75?
Uh-huh.
10 million over 85 years. So averaged out over all of the years, that's 117,647 per year divided by 365. That seems absurd. They're making 322 guitars a day, every day. God damn.
They must have had the production line dialed.
Methods, baby. They got their methods down.
What's my quota, boss? I need you to do 500 necks in the next 10 minutes, or you're fired.
Yeah, because going from 1930 to 75, that's 578 guitars a day.
If you're thinking of it in these terms, and it's got to be modular, your neck guy, your fret guy, your body guy, your paint guy, however they have it divided up, who's the roadblock? Who's holding up the line?
Paint to dry. Everything else can be done just cranked out, I would think.
I got to hear this drive some more.
I think it's a bummer
Yes.
that you build this company up to where they're cranking out close to 600 guitars a day. What did that growth look like? Was it just this incredible ramp up through the 50s into the early to mid 60s?
And then here come the imports.
Right. But the shame is that companies, they're all like grow or die. There's no plan B. Why is shrinking not a part of that plan? You know, oh, there's not a market for 600 guitars a day every day. Why can we not get back to the 100 guitars a day and keep a company afloat?
That would almost require a pretty drastic business model change. Their segment was always beginner to mid, and they have to keep up that quantity to balance that book. If they want to make less, one way that you would do it is make a better guitar and charge more for it. But that's not who they were.
Shutting the company down is also a pretty radical business decision. Maybe some of the higher up people are just like, screw it, I'm done. Was it a private company?
Yeah, it was. Since you bring this up, today I was looking at guitar.com.
Sure.
And I saw an item from 2020. I must have missed it at the time.
We've got a lot of stuff we're juggling.
Yeah,
We can't be spending all day on guitar.com.
that's right.
Yeah.
It came from Rickenbacker.
Yeah.
They put out a statement saying, "We will no longer be accepting orders from Guitar Center or Musician's Friend. We encourage people to place orders through other authorized Rickenbacker dealers.
That's great.
Buy it from any dealer, just not them."
Fantastic. Rickenbacker has that thing where like they only make the number of guitars they can make and they cannot make more. They could have made business decisions in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s to increase production. They didn't do any of it. They kept their profits. The guitars are actually like not outrageous.
They're reasonable.
Yeah. You could go the other route, which is like the Harmony route, ramp up and then die because you can't support it long term.
Right. 1968, when this thing comes out, Ed,
Yeah.
how many $1968 are you going to pay for the Harmony Rebel? Made in Chicago.
Made in Chicago.
In the fancy avocado finish.
$149.
It was $109.50.
A bargain. Top of the line,
Yeah.
special color, 109. Where'd you buy the Harmony brand?
Well, over the years, you could get them out of any number of catalogs, but by the time the Rebel came out, it was in the JCPenney catalog.
Very cool.
Yeah. You want to guess today dollars?
I don't know. Is it like $1,200 maybe?
It's about 1,000.
Okay.
We got this one from the fine folk over there at Thunder Road Guitars.
ThunderRoadGuitars.com.
Yeah, that's them.
Hey, when this episode comes out, has the garage sale day come and gone?
Garage sale at Thunder Road Guitars
Yeah.
is May 11th.
Uh-huh.
Garage sale day this year is on our 6-year anniversary.
How'd you like that telly I got in the garage sale a couple of years ago?
I loved it. Viewers who follow us on Instagram would have seen me playing along to One Thing Leads to Another by The Fix using Ed's Telecaster.
Yep.
I'm new to that game. You know, removing a guitar track from a song and replacing it with yourself.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah. I brought that over and we did a little bonus episode we threw up on our Patreon.
Yeah.
Shout out to the High Gain Patreon crew.
Yeah, it's really fun to talk more informally and off the cuff. So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/thehighgain and consider subscribing. Become a patron
Of the arts.
of the arts. We'd love to have you.
You gotta try it. Try and decide. Is it hello or goodbye? Buy or deny?
Went down in flames along with the company around 1975.
Oh.
One of the last of the Chicago Boys pieces. The Harmony Rebel and the lovely Avocado Burst, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Buy or deny?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
How has the value of these held up? Are they like highly collectible
This particular one is.
because of the avocado burst? Because it's a cool color.
The
Is
Avocado
that why?
Burst, the pickups, the Diarmans are very good in these.
Yep.
And the top and back are ply, but premium instead of just like garbage wood. It's nicer wood.
Yeah.
I think the market has beat inflation on these. This particular one is available at Thunder Road Guitars.
ThunderRoadGuitars.com.
Yeah, and if you go to thunderroadguitars.com and you wanted to buy this,
Yeah.
use the promo code HIGHGAIN10. You get 10% off. Just saying.
What a deal. Yeah, I'm not going to buy this.
Deny?
Yeah, I think so. We did the 60s silhouette, and I think I was a buy. And then we did the USA, and I was like, oh my God. The USA made reissues of these guitars incredible.
Made in Kalamazoo these days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I might be more positive on a reissue than the actual original.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's a deny, but not because of any problems with the guitars.
No, it sounds great.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take lots of pictures of this.
The Harmony Rebel.
We'll put them up.
The color's great. Take some pictures of that color.
I'll take pictures of the color.
Have some avocados.
We'll put them up.
Uh-huh.
And we'll keep cranking these out for another 6 years, maybe, for our whip-cracking, head-cracking, ruinous media network of music-related podcast overlords.
Yeah, I think they'll appreciate that. Can you imagine we're still sitting in this chair in 2030?
Maybe light rail will have been built by then.
I'm not nihilistic, John. I always think like just next year, I'm going to open up my front door and it's just going to be a Mad Max landscape.
Well, okay. We'll see if any of that happens. I don't know. But until then,
Yeah.
should we just say next week, let's do another one?
Yeah. I don't want to commit to 6 more years, but next week for sure. For sure, John.
All right, great.
Cool.
All right.
Happy 6-year anniversary, John.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, bye.
Bye now.